Alright, well, I've hiked in. I've made it. So, this is a really interesting area, and I decided to come here today. Around 2 I'm going to leave and I'm going to set up camp, but there's really good gold here, and I found it before. You know, I've always wondered if the gold that's here, because I have found some really nice pieces, and hopefully I'll have something worth showing. But I always kind of thought, because I know where this starts, I always thought that maybe it was just coming off the hillsides, because you've got, if you look at the area, you've got all this stone, and you actually do have some contact zones and a variety of rocks in certain areas here. So I always wondered if it just eroded out at hillsides. The thing about it though is it looks well worn, and the most gold I've ever found in a day, it was just over 8 grams, and it was in a crevice, oh, I don't know, maybe a mile down. And so I always wondered where the heck that beautiful stuff came from, because it was a real surprise. It wasn't a packed crevice. There was just lightweight forest material in it, and that's what made it just fascinating to me. And I thought, well, it must have come in, you know, this last ripping storm, and what happened was there was so much force that only the gold stayed in that crevice. All right, you can see what I'm doing here. And this is super hard volcanic rock. It's got a lot of mineral staining where the water level remained static, but I am going to try to remove these, because if I could get under here, that's where I've got a shot for real stuff. I'm going to try to pop some of this rock off, and I know that there's a, basically right here, it's kind of a bowl, and it'll hold water. One winter I was up here and finding some really good gold, and it just ended up in the bowl, and adjacent to this, the frontage of this rock. So I'm going to give it a shot, and God, I hope I get some good gold. You know, if you get one really nice piece, it's all worth it. I think I might be able to get this one out. Fits perfect in here, but that's awesome. Well, that's a good start. Let's see what we got under there. You can see, if I can get some of this other stuff, and Lord knows if I can get one of these. I mean, the water really does shoot through here and kind of tumbles around, so I'll get what I can out of here. You can see that that rock was pretty form-fitted. The other thing I'm doing is getting this thing. It's just rotting rock. You can see right there that it's rock that's disintegrating. And so I'm getting in there, and I'm using this tool here. It's really been helpful. I got it for an early birthday present, and it's getting some of that rotty dirt out from between there. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm beginning to pry these guys out of here. I should be able to work this whole zone, I hope. But you can see the kind of stuff that's falling out. It's just rotty, gray, and it's coming out of in here. So I'm going to work that. I know exactly how I want to work this area. I just want to make sure that each bag, like right there, really, I mean, killer looking stuff, just what I want. So, well, let's see. Because I'm in here, this all bedrock. So I got down to where, in this material, it's been down here for quite a time. It's just really sticky, gunky. Now, at the time where I found the best gold here, I was only shoveling the surface stuff. I wasn't getting down in this. I was sliding it up and under as I could, and because this thing was full of water. But now, I mean, I'm getting down to bedrock and removing all the gray material that's in there. And this is kind of what I hoped for, I guess, for sure. Well, I wish I had a mule, but I'm going to pack out as much dirt as I can. You can see how this all seems to interlock here. And I just scraped this off the edge, and it's just decomposing schist that it's all beneath there. I don't think anyone cleaned this out before, because I don't think that, and especially the old timers, they would have shredded this. They would have got every last bit of it and run it. But anyways, see, and I like this stuff. Not the recent stuff so much, but this stuff looks heavier. It's got some root material on it. I'll have to work around that, but yeah, like this locks right in there. It looks like there was schist between these rocks, and it just rotted out. Because I think that this creek is where the really good gold comes from, and I keep finding, you know, intriguing piece here and there, and a few times I've gotten some good gold here, but that was a long time ago. So moving this stuff around, maybe that'll I don't know, bring some rays of sunshine in the pan. And so this is what the work area looks like right now. So you can get a full view of what I'm doing here. I don't know, it looks good. It's kind of what I hoped I'd be able to do. I didn't think I'd get these rocks out of here, but what happened was these rocks were in place. This volcanic rock is sitting over a schist layer, and that's what I think. And that schist layer over time simply has broken down and allowed me to liberate these larger rocks that were part of this larger section of bedrock there. So anyways, this is the tool. One of the tools I've been using, I don't know, it's just turned out, this tool here has turned out to be really handy. It's super strong. It's allowed me to get into some really tight areas. I mean, I really, really like it. And here's what it is. Bradshaw. Bradshaw? That's what I think it is. Quality matters. And I think they make a killer tool here. I love this thing. There's the name of the company again. And I like this. This is a really nice tool for metal detectors and prospectors as well. And probably people doing garden work and other things around their home. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. This is pretty close to where I'm digging. I don't want to put everything into one basket, so to speak, but I don't know, I just see the side. This rock's been removed. The schist looks like it's been busted off here. Someone was busting some schist off here. And then no one's looked in here for a while, but this is solid rock under here. So this stuff looks good because it's gray and interesting looking. Alright, well, I'm going to hike out of here simply because I'm dying to pan this stuff. I mean, before I do more work, I need to see if it's worthwhile, you know. If I got, like, let's say, a couple of nice pieces, quarter gram, half gram size pieces, you know, picker, I would come back probably first thing in the morning. But if not, I got a couple other spots I want to look at. Alright, well, I got a wild hair. After I hiked out of the area I was in, still haven't panned it. There's no water anywhere. I came over here because there's a bedrock layer, and I just hit it, and it's looking like this. It's a lot of I'm breaking up the granite. Granite's decomposing. Right on a, let me get in here and show you. We're right on the layer. You can see it. See it? It's just peeking through. We got all this rusty iron-bearing soil, which is a really good sign. All right, so anyways, I'm over at Fain Lake. I've got all the goods. Nothing like using pillowcases to carry stuff. It's 400 thread. I don't think I'll lose anything worth losing. But we're gonna find out. I am sure there's gold in the blue buckets. These guys, there could be good gold, and we're just gonna see how we do. They've done a lot over here. Of course, this is where Rose Creek feeds into Fain Lake. Widow's trees are perched precariously on that bank, that's for sure. And, well, I'm going to get with it. All right, second pan. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this beauty, man. I mean, look at this piece. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. And, pulling those rocks apart in that area and getting underneath in that schisty material, I expect to hear more of that kerplunk. That is a nice piece of gold, and in fact, if that had been the only piece of gold I found on this trip, I'd be happy as hell. But I do have a feeling there's going to be more of them, especially so early in. Well, I sure hope so, but that definitely made the hike, and it made the whole day well worthwhile. That is absolutely awesome. I love this. All right, anyways, I'm finally done panning, and I mean, well, I think we know what made the day, but so here's a look at what I got so far. I got some little guys, the usual, but then I've got the nice one, and the nice one is equivalent to probably, I don't know, 100 of the small ones. So I'm pretty happy. It's great to get a nice, you know, substantial picker like that. Snugule. I'll have to weigh it. We'll see. Well, here I am, and this storm is blowing up, man. It's just all of a sudden, all the trees simultaneously just started whistling and wailing. The thunder's coming. It's gonna be awesome. It should be a pretty decent one. Or maybe it'll just blow right over and we won't get anything, but it's nice. God, the air is cool. Just kind of was hoping for this. Drop the temperature and have a good night's sleep. This is really nice. Just sitting out here. Just listen to the rain. I've got this nice airflow coming through the tent. Cool, moist air. So it looks like the storm has passed. And, oh my God, the air just smells amazing. The pine, the clean rain, the sky's been cleansed. It's really nice and cool. It's probably about 65 to 68 range. It's just beautiful. God, we're so lucky, you know, those of us who like doing this sort of thing, because we get it all. It's just great. All right, so second day. It's pretty early. I hiked into this spot. What I'm doing is I'm getting in between these rocks. I'm not sure if this is attached bedrock or not. But I have found gold in this hole before, and that's the reason I'm checking it, because I found it in this main space here where there was an agglomeration of kind of riprap, and so I want this. You can see how it's compacted together. That's why I want it. All right, so that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, you can see right now that I'm finding these areas of bedrock, schisty bedrock, by the way, and I'm following them out into this creek. Then what I'm doing, I'm digging all the light surface material, you know, all the wimpy stuff, because there's no reason to fill your bag with, you know, samples that likely don't have a heck of a lot. So I'm finding this material that's consolidated. So I feel like it's been there for a while, and you can see how it's it's like cementy almost. And you have to really hit it to break it up. So it's been in place for a bit. You can see it there. But it's not this darker, lighter material. You can tell a difference. It's kind of almost, well, it's very light. Go in there. It's really light. And it's packed together, and you'll get clumps of it as well. And that's what I like. I also like that this comes out, let me see. This seems to come out and then terminate. This guy comes out and continues, probably at greater depth. In between them, they've got a little sluicing effect, but they also have this depth, and that's what I want. The other thing about this, you find this material like this, and you follow it out into the creek. If you've found gold in that creek before, you have a chance. Now, if the flow was really super high, I might get lighter material up in these upper areas, and even a few pleasant surprises. It depends when this ground was last touched, but that's what I'm doing. I got good samples. I ended up doing some dry panning, which wasn't too bad of an idea, and actually it was a good idea. And I could really see that those lighter rocks, you know, bounced right off pretty well. Some minutes carry as much material back, but you know, I'm just hoping that there's some gold in there. Okay, so I've commenced panning now. I don't have a huge sample, but out of the second spot you saw where the schisty material was jutting out, there's a little piece there. It's kind of rounded, actually a pretty little piece. So that's good. I mean, there's some gold there. And I just have to basically swirl this small amount here. Okay, here's the gold for the trip. Got a little row of actually nice rounded little pieces. There's our lunker. And there's a few others mixed in. So it's not bad. And I just wish I got another one of those bigger pieces.